Pisa and Motan, two lions rescued from Rafah Zoo in Gaza, have been brought to Lions Rock Sanctuary in South Africa. The two were transferred during the International Animal Welfare Agency's biggest emergency mission to date.
It's been a long journey. Pisa and Motan used to live in the Gaza Strip. Now they have a new home, 7,000 miles away and much more like their natural habitat, at Lions Rock Sanctuary in South Africa. The lion and lioness were among 47 animals rescued from Rafah Zoo in Gaza by the animal welfare group Four Paws. Largely neglected and kept in poor conditions, Pisa and Motan are lucky to be alive.
We just want to make sure they can also collect a little bit more strength, and we will feed them every day now, and hopefully they will get used very quickly to our routines.
Lions Rock is home to over 100 big cats, all rescued from rough living conditions from parts of Europe, Africa and the Middle East. Here they live almost as they would in the wild.
The increasing chance of civil war in Libya has put thousands of refugees held in detention there at risk. The United Nations has already moved more than 150 refugees after fighting broke out near their camp.
Casualties are mounting in Libya's capital, Tripoli, as a battle between forces loyal to two rival governments continues to rage. Among those caught in the crossfire are these refugees. They are among tens of thousands trapped by the country's violence. Libya is the main conduit for African migrants and refugees trying to reach Europe, with many held in detention camps like Ain Zara in Tripoli's south. On Tuesday, the UN's refugee agency relocated 150 people from there because of fighting nearby.
As I'm speaking, I can hear there's artillery fire going on, explosions, and we're trying to move as quickly as possible.
The UN says it's concerned vulnerable migrants will also be used by armed groups as human shields or forcefully recruited to fight. Around 5,700 migrants and refugees are detained in Libya, according to the UN, although that number does not include those held in informal facilities. They've warned that conditions are not safe and say any refugees rescued in the Mediterranean Sea should not be returned there. The fighting in Libya has been sparked by former Gaddafi General Khalifa Haftar attempting to overthrow the government with his self-styled Libyan National Army.
The town of Ibaora in southwest Nigeria has one of the highest rates of twin births in the world. Now, some locals say it's because of the food they eat. Let's take a look.
A visitor to the Nigerian town of Ibaora could be mistaken for repeatedly seeing double. That's because it has one of the highest rates of twin births in the world. At this secondary school, among the close to 100 children assembled at the end of break time, there were 9 sets of twins.
There
are so many twins in Ibaora because of the okra leaf we eat. If the residents and visitors eat the okra leaf, they will give birth to twins. And we twins love eating scented palm oil, beans and banana.
Twins are common in the Yoruba ethnic group, which dominates this part of the southwest Nigeria. A 1970 study by a British gynecologist found that around 50 sets of twins were born out of 1,000 births in the region. They are even recognized culturally through specific names, Taiwo for the firstborn twin and Kende for the second. But the high rate of twins in Ibaora is considered to be exceptional. Locals say it's thanks to the okra leaves used to make a popular local stew.
Because I eat okra leaves a lot, I gave birth to 8 sets of twins, but only 4 sets are alive. Twins are very good. We have a special festival for them which we mark by eating beans and porridge.
There's no scientific proof of what the cause of the twin phenomenon is, but locals in the twin capital of the world are convinced that it all comes down to how the okra leaf stew is consumed, which is to eat the dish immediately and never store it for another day.
Senegal's colourful pirogues are a hallmark of the country's coast and a defining feature of a country in which fishing is the cornerstone of life. But who paints them? We find out.
Sharif Ndaye has been decorating Senegal's famous colourful pirogues for 15 years. Inspired by his mentor, the 32-year-old gave up fishing to learn the craftsmanship from him, developing his own distinctive style and becoming the go-to painter for many families in this fishing neighborhood of the capital, Dakar.
All my drawings mean something, and they are all different from the other. It's not easy to paint a boat because it does not have the same surface as a canvas. If you are not familiar with the boat, you spend most of your time painting because the shapes you paint on the boats are different. The boats do not have a smooth surface, and if you are not familiar with the boats, your drawings won't look straight, and a lot of people who try to paint on boats make mistakes.
The wooden fishing boats first arrived in Senegal from Madagascar during French colonial rule. They remain popular amongst the fishing community, who sail day and night to catch fish to sell at the port's markets.
The colours attract the fish, like blue, pale green, white. These are the colours that attract them, especially at night when the moon shines.
Close to 20% of Senegal's workforce is in the fishing industry, according to the World Bank. As a painter, Sharif earns between $170 to $250 per boat, depending on its size and design requirements. Many of the boats he decorates feature a signature painting of an eye to ward off evil spirits.
Let's take a look now at stories trending on social media across the continent. Now, social media users were captivated by footage showing a woman leading chants in anti-government protests in Sudan. Dubbed Kandaka, meaning Nubian Queen, Allah Salah has become a symbol of the Sudan protests. The world is weeping following a fire that ravaged France's Notre Dame Cathedral. Many took to social media to share messages of support and sadness. Around 400 firefighters managed to bring the blaze under control, but the 850-year-old spire collapsed during the inferno. Hashtag Travel Tuesday. People across the continent are sharing images of some of the best places to visit in Africa. While some have been reminiscing about past travels, others are being motivated to explore the continent. That was this week's edition of Hashtag Africa. Until next time, take care.